Greetings and Merry Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you decide to celebrate. This is the somewhat Christmassy episode of For Fun Friday, where we're going to take a look at one of the most... I'm not going to say most requested, that would be a lie. This is a hero requested deck for someone who's wanted to see this goddamn thing be played for ages. We are having a look today at SWORDSOUL, one of the metagame masterpieces of the current format, and for very good reason. These guys spam out synchros like there's literally no tomorrow, and if you wanted to play a really good synchro archetype, this is probably the one. Now, as always, if you enjoy this type of content, do remember to leave a comment down below for the algorithm, leave a like, subscribe, support me on Patreon, you know the drill. Today, as we said, we're having a look at SWORDSOUL, something that has literally been a pain in my butt since this format started. SWORDSOUL is very resilient, incredibly powerful on the board, and has outs for just about every deck available, which is why it's considered one of the top tier meta decks. Now, most of this is because of the card you're looking at right now, SWORDSOUL of Moyi. When it is normal or special summon, you can reveal a SWORDSOUL or a worm monster in hand to special summon a SWORDSOUL token. That token is a level 4 tuner, meaning you have immediate access into a level 8 synchro. In addition to this, you usually go into Yugioh, or however on earth this is supposed to be pronounced, which lets you add or banish a SWORDSOUL card from your deck. This, of course, can search you into Strategist Long Yawn. Long Yawn allows you to summon itself and then discard you discard a SWORDSOUL card or a worm monster, special summon it, and then you get another synchro token. This will allow you to go into something like Baroness de Fleur, or Baron de Fleur, Ruddy Rose Dragon, another super good card for the archetype, or if you want to be extremely crazy, you can just go into Sheng Ying. Sheng Ying gains 100 attack and defense for each banished card, essentially, because it gains 100 and your opponent loses 100. Yeah, I don't know how to speak, don't worry about it. But you can, if it's supposed to be destroyed by card effect, you could just banish a card from your graveyard instead. This card is just a really, really good finisher, but you have so many tools in the deck. You've got, of course, your Yugioh and Sheng Ying. You got Baxia, Brightness of the Yang Xing, which only cares about being synchro summoned by worm monsters, and then you get to spin up to 2 cards depending on how many types of attributes were used for the synchro summon. It's really stupidly good. We also then run one Yazi, Evil of the Yang Xing, which is slightly worse. You don't go into this as often, but it does have its uses. We have one Xiaofeng, Phantom of the Yang Xing, which is absolutely crazy. Your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters with the same original attributes as the Yang Xing monsters used for the synchro summon. So generally speaking, you'll go into something like Yazi and then synchro summon into Xiaofeng, or just straight up go into Xiaofeng just immediately as it is, because, you know, light. Regardless, we also got a Draco Berserk of the Tenyi, one of my favorite cards, and I'm surprised it is once again seeing play, but the main reason we're playing this is because we have splashed a Tenyi package. We have 3 Ashuna, probably the best one for this specific archetype, as it just lets you summon a thing. We got Vishuddha, which lets you spin back a card, and is also the perfect target to synchro with Adhara, Adhara being a level 1 tuner. It's quite good. We also then run one Shitana, simply because we need another name and a way to get a normal monster back should we need it. And we're also playing Arch Nemesis Protoss, one of the funniest lockout cards in the entire game. I love this thing. I really, really do. Banish 3 things with original attributes, so basically if you go through your entire SWORDSOUL lineup, you will get to this card. It's hilarious. We also have Adamancipator Arisen Dragite, as it does offer us a negate in this deck, as our Moyi is water. Ruddy Rose Dragon, as stated before, and Baroness de Fleur as pseudo-negates, and one just really, really cool dragon card. 3 Monk of the Tenyi, just so we have targets to link off our Vishuddha, or not Vishuddha plays, our Tenyi plays, and a single Shaman of the Tenyi, simply because this can, for the cost of a single card, target a worm monster in our graveyard to special summon it, which lets us get back any of our SWORDSOULs, because for some reason they're all worms. In addition to this, we are playing 3 Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous. This card is freaking insane, allowing us to basically search our deck for any SWORDSOUL. It's stupid. It's one of the perfect starters for the deck. We are playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Effect Veiler. This should come as no surprise. 3 Sword Soul Emergence, which is basically just a Rota for Sword Soul, but it's better. We play 1 Sword Soul Sacred Summit, because Sacred Summit is really, really good under specific circumstances, but a brick in others. Heavenly Dragon Circle is simply to search worm monsters, because we can very easily do that in this deck. 3 Pot of Desires for draw power, 3 Infinite Impermanence as Had Trap Fodder. Sword Soul Blackout we play at 2. We can target 1 worm must be controlled and 2 cards our opponent controls destroy them, which is basically just Icarus attack for worms. But if it's banished, we get ourselves a free level 4 tuner. And last card, 1 Imperial Order. This is the list that finished in first place in the recent YCS as of this upload. So I'm hoping for some good stuff with this one. Let's give the deck for a spin and see exactly what an idiot like me can do piloting it. Alright, today we're playing with the classical view, because I forgot to turn on my theme, let's be honest here. Let me real quick prepare the side of the screen here for the card, and we're looking at pre-preparation of rites. Most likely this man is then playing the new Drytron version people are playing, so we're gonna go ahead and ash that immediately. Most likely he is going to be searching, yeah, that's what I figure. The turn just kind of ends if that happens. Our hand is crazy. Like crazy. We're gonna go for the Ashuna here. Ashuna summoning itself, and we're gonna make it into a Monk of the Tenyi. Remember that these guys are all special summons, meaning they're absolutely insane. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna get ourselves a Monk of the Tenyi. Now Ashuna is ready for the sit here. We are... Ooh, Tenyi Monster... yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Vishuda. We're gonna special summon Vishuda. And because we control a Monk of the Tenyi, we can activate Ashuna in order to special summon the Tiny Tuner one. The Tiny Tuner is a really good card, so we're just gonna do that if our duelist friend here will allow us. It doesn't look like he's planning on allowing us doing that. Oh, there he goes. Okay, we're gonna activate Ashuna. We are going to special summon Adhara. Adhara is a level 1 tuner, which means we now have free access to any level 8 synchro. Debating a Yugioh here, but I think Draco Berserker is just better if we're gonna attempt to end the game, because we do have Moyi as a special summon already set. We could go Baxia if we really wanted to, but we can return 1 card off of Baxia, so I don't know if it's worth it. No, we're just gonna go for the Draco Berserker here. Draco Berserker is just a really, really dope card in my opinion, and I am happy to see it. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good way of using Long Yawn. We are going to get hit with the Floodgate Trap Hole. I guess that's better that we got hit with it now, because we are going to summon Moyi. We're going to activate Moyi, revealing the Long Yawn to summon ourselves a Sword Soul token. With that token now, we now have access to Yugioh at the very least, so we are going to go ahead and we're going to summon Yugioh. We're going to activate the triggered effect of Moyi, and the triggered effect of Yugioh. Yugioh allows us to search for any Sword Soul card. I think we're going to take an Emergence. We're going to add that to our hand. Moyi, of course, is going to activate, drawing us a card, drawing us into Blackout. That's not terrible, actually. We're going to activate Emergence. Emergence is going to search us Taya. Then we're going to activate Long Yawn. We are going to get rid of Blackout. We're going to special summon Long Yawn. Summon a Zhejiang token. And with this, we are currently locked, so we are going to make Shengying. Shengying being a very good card. We're going to activate Long Yawn in the graveyard, burn our opponent for 1200, activating Adhara to get back Ashuna to hand. And with this, we have lethal, I believe. We punch for 31. Punch for 28. Ah, we are just short. Oh no, we aren't. Haha. I can math. And there you go. Like, yeah, okay, Ash Blossom basically won this game for us, but you can see just how explosive this deck really gets. If our turn ended there, we would have still had a negate on our turn, as well as a non-destroyed by effect monster that we could have just kept fuffing around with. And if Draco Berserker was not hit with Floodgate Trap Hole, we would have been able to have a monster banish as well. It's really explosive. Let's go another game and see how that goes. Alright then, Flip. How are you going to deal with my pineapple power? Apparently you're not. We're just gonna high five a lot. Aw, boo. Let's see if you too scoop the second I summon a monster. That's happened a lot currently. They are going first. We have yet again drawn into an Ash Blossom, so we are essentially somewhat safe. Pot of Desires as well as 2 worms in hand is decent. Although only having access to Long Yawn kind of sucks because we really want to see other cards. We also have Protoss. Protoss being one of, if not the best lockdown card in the current format. So Flip, are you going to be doing something? Familiar Possessed Asa. Okay. This is most certainly a card game. Sure. Oh, and we draw into Moyi. Oh, this just got a lot better. Like, a lot better. Ooh, if we had access to another one of this, I think we're going to fire Pot of Desires here. I think it's worth it. If we can draw 2 of Vishuda, we're going to get the same end board again. They are going to let us pot. We don't really draw into what we wanted, but I assume that's fine anyway. We're going to activate Ashuna because we don't control anything. Summoning Ashuna and making a Monk of the Tenyi for it. There's the Monk. All we really need to have on board is the Monk, just so we have access to having a couple of worm monsters. We also drew into a Blackout again, which is just about perfect. We're going to summon Moyi. We're going to activate Moyi effect. And we're going to reveal the SWORDSOUL Long Yawn. We are going to get ourselves a token. Token is allowed. They have a lot of back row here. I am debating playing it very safe and activating Dragite first. I think I'm going to do that, actually. And just make Dragite, just to be able to stop whatever back row they happen to have as we activate Moyi. This should insulate us from any sort of battle trap shenanigans, which is why I'm summoning the Dragite very early. Usually speaking, you probably wouldn't. I kind of understand why you'd not, in all honesty, but... Alright, so Possessed Partnerships is what I kind of expected. I'm actually going to negate Partnerships, because I hate this card with a burning passion. It is very good. Alright, we'll negate that. Now we don't have Battle Trap Protection, of course, but I think that's still kind of worth it. We're going to go for the Long Yawn next. We are going to reveal the Vishuda and discard it, because we don't need it anymore. We didn't draw it on time, essentially, so we're just going to skip out. This also lets us spin back a card should we wish, so we'll just summon the Long Yawn, or summon a Zhejiang token. Here, I think here, Shengying is okay. Baroness is just really good. But I think we're going Shengying, because we do have Protoss in hand, which means we can activate Long Yawn here to burn for 1200, because that's a thing you're just allowed to do. Super Poly, that's interesting. Okay. Does he have 2 waters to get rid of both of these? He does, actually. Is it Mud Dragon? Okay. A little bit annoying. But I think we can still kind of get out of this one. Not cleanly, mind you, but kind of. This is a worm, so I think we can do... Let's do Ashuna. I'm decently sure I have a way out of this. So, Ashuna summons Adhara. We're gonna make a Monk of the Tenyi. This is basically the recovery card, which is kind of nice that we get to show off here, because Shaman of the Tenyi has some absolutely insane power here. We're gonna throw the Blackout, and we're gonna summon back the Shengying. Yes, Shengying is a worm, and therefore, he can come back. Absolutely crazy. We're gonna go for the Protoss as well here. We are just going to choose to banish the Long Yawn, the Mo Yi, and the Monk of the Tenyi to summon Protoss. We are going to... banish... No. What does Shengying do? What? You can banish... If this card is banished, except during the... What? Am I weird? This doesn't have an effect. Oh, it banishes a card when something is banished. Right. Oh, right. It gets to banish... I completely forgot about this effect. I'm a dum-dum. It banishes a card from the field and one from the graveyard whenever a SWORDSOUL is banished. I'm dumb. Anyway, Protoss, right? So, Protoss is really funny. We can declare 1 attribute, destroy all monsters on the field with their attribute, and until the end next turn, neither pick a special summon monsters with that attribute. We're gonna do this. We are going to name, Earth, which is gonna blow up Asa and keep Mud Dragon on the field. Mud Dragon alone does not matter to us. We're just gonna do that, have it destroyed. They're gonna go to battle, and he scoops them up. I think that pretty much shows just how strong Sword Soul really is, because even if you interrupt it and blow up its entire board, it has ways to just get the board back. I mean, sure, we lost a Dragite in that exchange, but let's be honest, Dragite did its job by negating a spell trap. It was then destroyed. It doesn't really matter too much. At that point, what was our opponent going to do about it? I know, it's not a meta deck, let's not kid ourselves, but it has incredible power when you look at it. Let's go for another game. Alright, we are playing up against Super Cax, and our starting hand is very good, actually. Taya is less good to have in starting hand, I suppose, but we are going to go for the normal summon Moyi. We're going to activate Moyi. We're going to reveal Taya. We are going to get ourselves the token, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make Yugioh. We're going to activate the trigger effect of Moyi and the trigger effect of Yugioh. Yugioh, of course, is going to search as a card, this time searching Long Yawn. And then we're going to draw a card, and we're going to draw into another Taya, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. We're going to activate Long Yawn. We're going to pitch one of the Tayas, summoning the Long Yawn, activating the effect of the Long Yawn to get a token. This time around, I think we are just going to... This is kind of bad, because we kind of have to destroy something to use Protoss, which is unfortunate, and I don't think that's worth it, so we are just going to make Baroness de Fleur here. We're going to activate Long Yawn's effect to burn for 1200, and we're just going to pass on that for now. We do have Protoss as a third turn bounce back should we need it. We decided not to go into our big boy this time, because we needed kind of a Tenyi play to do that. But we do have 2 negates on the board right now, and we have a banish off of things. We're going to get hit with an Imperm. I'm assuming the Imperm here is going to hit Baron. Yeah. I mean, we're just going to use the effect. We don't have a reason not to. It's going to get negated otherwise, so we might as well just have it there. We're going to get Dark Rulered, which is very unfortunate, but kind of expected. Ah, Tin Goldfish. This is going to be Crooked Cook Turbo. We're going to stop that immediately. He does have the Nettle anyway, so it won't end up mattering. So he is Crooked Cook Turbo, for sure. There is no way this man is not playing Crooked Cook Turbo. Or maybe he's not now, because he actually made another 4, which confuses me. Well, if he's playing Crooked Cook Turbo, why'd he make another 4? Now he has 1 more monster on the board than what he's supposed to. Why would you do that? That ruins your Crooked Cooking. You're supposed to only have 2. Oh no, he's playing Kragans! Okay, all monsters on the field are now water. This is actually a very interesting matchup because our Protoss is really good here. He is going to destroy the Yugioh, which makes perfect sense. Baron is already negated. Okay, he's going to go for the end phase off of the Kraken. We are going to activate Baron here. And we're just going to special summon back the Yugioh. We are going to activate the Yugioh to banish the Long Yawn, targeting the Kraken. So with this, we are going to special summon the Protoss. We are going to banish Taya, Veiler, and Moyi, summoning Protoss. We're going to activate the Protoss effect, and we're going to name Water. This destroys all water monsters and prevents our opponent from summoning water monsters the next turn, which is crazy, to be honest. In this particular matchup, that's pretty much a game ender. What a deck. Yeah, that is what it is. We're going to summon Ecclesia the Virtuous. We don't get an effect off. We do get an effect off of it, to be fair. Tribute this card, special summon Sword Soul. We're going to do that. We're just going to tribute it off. Going to summon Long Yawn. We're not going to activate any effect here. We're instead going to Heavenly Circle the Long Yawn to get a... most likely a Moyi to hand for the following turn. We're just going to go to battle. We're just going to punch face. We could have probably attacked with the Long Yawn first, to be fair, but let's be honest, this man is playing an all-water deck. He can't special summon water. He is basically screwed here. Protoss is such a powerful card. It is absolutely crazy. Not being able to special summon water now is just... he's basically out of the game. There is not much he's going to be able to do. He's going for the Nettle here. He can shuffle 3 water monsters into the deck, which is fine. Let them return. All is well. and he scoops it up. What a surprise. Protoss locking you out of summoning water is usually a bad sign in a water deck, isn't it? I really think this video just describes how easy to play SWORDSOUL is. Like, understanding it is not that difficult, but just the raw amount of power in these cards is beyond anything I'm able to explain. Moyi is a ridiculously good card, allowing you to get into a Synchro 8 for virtually free, and searching you the card that also gets you into a Synchro 10 for just using it. The amount of plus you go off of Moyi alone is ridiculous. This is a meta deck for a good reason. Let's wrap this up. So, what do we think about SWORDSOUL? You know what? If I had the money, I would buy this deck. 100%. Not only because it's a very, very good meta deck currently, but also because it's incredibly fun to play. I mean, we've had the joke of normal summon Alistair for the last couple of years, just due to how simple that deck really is. I think normal summon Moyi is going to take that over by a long shot. Here you have an entire toolbox of synchro cards from the last 10 years available to you to play with, and it's just, the options you legitimately have for building this deck is absolutely incredible. You have so many ways to construct this deck. There are a ton of great level 8 and level 10 synchros for you to mess with, so you could potentially experiment with the SWORDSOULs to no end. I highly suggest this deck if you have the wallet to play it, or if you play online, go ahead and give it a go. I will leave the deck code for this deck in the description below, as I have with every other deck for the last couple of while. If you'd like to give it a go, it's down there. All you have to do is copy it, import it into Omega, and you'll be set. For now, though, I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas time ahead of you. If you would like to make this guy happy for Christmas, you could consider supporting me on Patreon or YouTube membership. Every supporter counts, as you are quite literally keeping me fed at this point. And it might help me afford Moyis at some point, because you know what? I am not rich, and if I want to play set, I'll have to chill out. However, in the sight of Christmas spirit, I hope you take my little sellout with a grain of salt. I don't really care in the end. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. I will go ahead and enjoy mine. And as always, remember to stay safe out there.